So, you think you could survive a horror movie? Let me ask you 3 questions. Could you outsmart an entire facility designed to manipulate your every move? Or how about outrunning a meth-fueled alligator that can sprint faster than a car? Or maybe you think you could escape a family of cannibals who've been doing this longer than you've been alive. Because today we're looking at a ton of horror movies where you have absolutely zero chance of survival, no matter how built different you think you are. And trust me, I've watched thousands of horror films. The last one on this list, it makes all the others look like a Disney movie. If you're already typing, "not me though," in the comments, hit subscribe first, because by the end of this video, you'll be deleting that comment. Let's start with something you probably think you could handle: a weekend getaway in a cozy cabin. I mean, how bad could it be? Well, those are famous last words. Because here's the thing about the cabin in the woods. It's not just about surviving one threat. You're up against an entire organization that's basically running a murder theme park with you as the main attraction. And before you say, "I'd just leave," my brother in Christ, you've got more control of your actions than your mom did during your teenage years. Think about it. These guys can literally pump pheromones into the air to make you horny enough to split up from the group. They can release chemicals to make you dumber than a TikTok comment section. They've even got a betting pool on how you'll die. And trust me, their odds are better than your survival chances. "But I just fight whatever monsters show up." Okay, tough guy. Let's say you somehow avoid choosing the murder diary or the puzzle box or the cursed necklace that summons your doom. Let's say you're smart enough to not read Latin out loud, which, let's be honest, you probably aren't. You're still dealing with a facility that has every horror movie monster ever created just chilling in their basement like it's a deadly Pokemon collection. We're talking zombies, werewolves, giant snakes, killer clowns, mermen, and that's just the basic cable package here. They've got monsters that would make your nightmares have nightmares, and they can release any or all of them whenever they want. Your built different energy isn't going to help you fight off a mermaid while a unicorn stabs you from behind. But here's the real kicker: even if you somehow survive all that, even if you're the most genre savvy horror fan who's memorized every trope and cliche, you're still just a pawn in their game. These guys have been doing this since before your grandparents were born. They've seen every possible survival strategy, every clever plan, every "not me though" moment, and they're sitting there with their coffee mugs, watching you like it's just another day at the office. And if you still think you can make it out of this alive, let me remind you why this whole setup exists in the first place. There are literal ancient gods sleeping beneath the facility who will wake up and destroy the world if they don't get their yearly sacrifice. So even if you survive, congratulations, you just ended the world. Hope that built different energy was worth it. And the scariest part, this isn't even the worst thing that could happen to you in a horror movie. At least here, you'll know what's killing you. But our next movie, you won't even see it coming because it's already inside of you. Because at least with Cabin in the Woods, you had a chance to die in a creative way. But Zombieland, this virus doesn't care about your zombie survival plan or that katana you bought from the mall when you were 12. These aren't your grandpa's shuffling zombies that you can outrun while posting about it on Twitter. These infected move faster than your mom when she heard you say a swear word at Thanksgiving dinner. And they come in flavors, like the world's worst ice cream shop. Let's break down why your zombie apocalypse team group chat is actually just a death wish list. First, we've got the T-800s, and no, they're not robots. These things are basically what happens when a zombie hits the gym and discovers pre-workout. They can take more bullets than your student loan debt can take payments. You think you're tough because you can do 10 push-ups? Cool. These guys can run through a brick wall and keep coming. And then there's the Hawkings, and they're not just smart because they read books. These zombies actually strategize. Imagine being outsmarted by something that literally has half a brain. While you're busy posting your last Instagram story, they're setting up ambushes and cutting off escape routes. They're playing chess while you're playing fucking Candy Crush. "But I'm fast, I can outrun them." Yeah, okay, let me introduce you to the ninjas. These infected make Olympic sprinters look like they're moving in slow motion. Remember that time you almost caught the ice cream truck? Yeah, these things would have caught it, eaten the driver, and started their own zombie ice cream business before you got off your couch. But let's say you somehow survived the initial outbreak. Congratulations. Now you get to deal with no internet. Yeah, that means no YouTube, no electricity. I hope you like warm beer, no running water. Turns out that survival shower you saw on YouTube doesn't actually work, and every other survivor thinking they're the main character in their own zombie movie. You think fighting zombies is hard? Try fighting over the last pack of toilet paper with someone who's been practicing their apocalypse speech in the mirror since 2020. And don't even get me started on the bathroom situation. You think using a public restroom is scary now? Try doing it when there's a horde of flesh-eating monsters who can hear you unzip your pants from a mile away. Sure, Columbus had his rules. Cardio. Double tap. Beware of bathrooms. But let's be honest. Your cardio is walking to the fridge during commercial breaks. Your double tap is hitting snooze in the morning, and the only bathroom you follow is try to aim better. But if you think fast zombies are bad, wait until you meet something that can not only outrun you, but also pretend to be you. Because these Irish fairy tales, they're about to make leprechauns look like Lucky Charms mascots. Remember when your mom told you fairy tales to help you sleep? Well, these Irish fairies are about to give you permanent insomnia. Welcome to Watchers, where the local folklore is less follow the rainbow and more pray you don't see what's following you. You're probably thinking, just to stay inside the bunker, how hard can it be? Try telling your bladder that at 3 a.m. after binge drinking energy drinks all day, because these aren't your Disney fairies sprinkling pixie dust and granting wishes, unless your wish is to become their midnight snack. Let's talk about what makes these creatures the ultimate, you're absolutely package. First off, they're shapeshifters. That's right. Anyone you meet could be a watcher. Your best friend could be a watcher. That cute Irish local offering to help, watcher. That dog wagging its tail, probably a watcher. The only thing you can trust is your paranoia. And even that might be them messing with your head. Speaking of messing with your head, these things don't just kill you. They psychologically destroy you first. Imagine hearing your mom's voice calling for help in the dark, only to realize it's a trap, or seeing your friend wave from the forest, but they've been dead for hours. It's like having all of your worst nightmares actually come alive and try to eat you. But I would just hide underground. Congratulations, you just walked into their basement. The burrows aren't your cool friend's man cave. They're literally where these things live during the day. That's like trying to break into a lion's den because you're trying to hide from the lion. And trust me, your phone's flashlight isn't gonna save you down there. And let's talk about nighttime. These watchers turn the dark into their personal hunting ground. You think you're good at navigating with Google Maps? Try finding your way through an Irish forest at night while something that's been hunting humans since before St. Patrick was born is playing mind games with you. Your great sense of direction is but as useful as a chocolate teapot here. The worst part though, you're completely cut off from the outside world. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, no calling for help. The only social media you'll be updating is the local missing persons database. And those other survivors in the coop with you, half of them are probably already working with the watchers, either because they've lost their minds or because they're actually watchers themselves. It's like the world's deadliest game of Among Us, except the imposter can actually shapeshift. But at least with the watchers, you know to be afraid of the dark. Our next movie is going to make you terrified of the most normal looking family you've ever seen, because sometimes the real monsters in life shop at Whole Foods. You know those live, laugh, love signs people hang in their kitchen? Well, this family's version probably reads hunt, kill, eat, but in like a really nice girl boss font. Welcome to Lowlifes, where the real monsters drive a luxury RV and probably have a Costco membership. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rich people are already scary, but what's the big deal? But this isn't about them buying all the housing in your area and making it unaffordable for your generation to have a life. These folks are literally trying to buy all the pieces of you, and they're not even doing it to keep up with the Joneses. Let's talk about their signature move, the Bim Bam candy. You know how your mom told you not to take candy from strangers? Well, this candy comes with a warning label that says may contain traces of peanuts and human flesh. That's not a metaphor. That's not a cute marketing gimmick. That's just straight up truth in advertising. Finally, an honest food label. Too bad you have to be eaten to appreciate it. What makes these cannibals truly terrifying isn't just their appetite, it's their efficiency. They've turned murder into a family business, more organized than your local DMV. Mom handles the prep work, dad's in charge of cleanup, the kids help with hunting. It's like a twisted version of those family YouTube channels, except instead of unboxing videos, they're making unboxing your organs videos. But I'm street smart. I wouldn't fall for their tricks. Yeah, okay, my dude. These people have been doing this longer than you've been alive. While you were learning to parallel park, they were perfecting their human hunting techniques. Your street smarts against their generations of experience is like bringing a plastic spork to a gunfight. But the scariest part, they're experts at social manipulation. They know exactly how to appear normal, trustworthy, and even helpful. They've got the perfect cover, a wealthy, well-dressed family on a cross-country road trip. Who's going to suspect them? They probably donate to charity, have a perfect credit score, and write Yelp reviews for restaurants. You know, when they're not turning people into their own private buffet. And here's the real kicker. They use our own social prejudices against us. Everyone's so busy being suspicious of the lowlifes that nobody notices the real predators are wearing Gucci and driving a vehicle that costs more than your college debt. It's like they've watched every single horror movie where people suspect the poor locals and thought, nah, we know how to to do this better. Speaking of being trapped with no escape, imagine being stuck in a gorge with something that makes these cannibals look like amateur hour, because our next movie is about to show you what happens when science goes wrong and evolution gets a serious upgrade. That's why we need to talk about the Gorge, because the Hollow Men, they're what happens when Mother Nature gets drunk, hooks up with a bioweapon, and decides to speedrun evolution. Picture this. You're a highly trained sniper positioned in a tower overlooking a mysterious gorge. Sounds like a cushy job, right? Just sit there, look cool with your rifle, maybe write some poetry to the other sniper that you fall in love with across the gorge, until you realize what you're actually guarding makes Jurassic Park look like a petting zoo. But I'm a good shot. I could handle it. Okay, my dude. You can't even hit a stationary target in Call of Duty. These Hollow Men are part human, part plant, part what the actual fuck. They can camouflage better than your ex hiding their Instagram stories from you. And trust me, no amount of Mountain Dew fueled gaming sessions prepared you for this task. Let's break down why your survival chances are lower than your high school GPA. First, these things adapt faster than social media trends. While you're trying to figure out how to fight a creature that's part vine, part snake, part nightmare, it's already evolved 3 new ways to kill you. It's like facing a boss fight where the boss keeps getting random power-ups, and your only power-up is your mega anxiety. Then there's the isolation. You're stuck in a tower, overlooking a gorge that's basically nature's version of a death trap. Your only friend is another sniper you can't even high-five because they're across a canyon that makes the Grand Canyon look like a sidewalk crack. Your dating profile might say you enjoy alone time, but this is ridiculous. And let's not forget about Dark Lake, the organization behind all of this, because apparently creating hybrid murder monsters wasn't evil enough. They had to add corporate bureaucracy to the mix. Imagine dealing with HR, except HR stands for horrifically ruthless, and their severance package is just your head gets severed. I just hide in the gorge. Yeah, great plan. Hide in the one place these things call home. The terrain is so treacherous, even mountain goats would say, nah bro, I'm good. One wrong step and you're either falling to your death, triggering a landmine, or becoming an all-you-can-eat buffet for something that looks like a Venus flytrap had a baby with a CrossFit instructor. But if you think mutant bioweapons in a gorge are bad, wait and see what happens when the Seine River decides to upgrade its local wildlife. Because under Paris is supposed to make Jaws look like Finding Nemo. Remember when Paris was just about romance, baguettes, and overpriced coffee? Well, say bonjour to Lilith, a mutant shark that's turned the city of love into an all-you-can-eat tourist buffet. And no, throwing croissants at it isn't gonna fucking help. Now you might be thinking, it's just a shark in a river. How bad could this be? First off, this isn't your standard Shark Week contestant. This is what happens when pollution meets evolution and decides to go full girl boss. Lilith isn't just any shark. She's a shark that looked at a normal shark's limitations and said, non merci. Let's dive into why your just swim faster strategy is what is useful as a chocolate life jacket. This girl can reproduce asexually because apparently waiting for shark Tinder matches was too slow. While you're busy planning your escape route, she's already populated the entire Seine River with baby sharks that make the regular ones look like goldfish. It's like a family reunion where every member wants to eat you. I just stay out of the water. Congratulations, you solved approximately 2% of your problems because these sharks have turned all of Paris's waterways into their personal hunting grounds. Those romantic river cruises, now they're lunch cruises, and you're the main course. That cute little bridge you wanted to take selfies on, hope you've got good balance because one slip and you're starring in Finding Nemo, the horror cut. And don't count on authorities to help. Their brilliant solution to a shark problem is about as effective as using a beret as a shark cage. The mayor's too busy worrying about tourism numbers to cancel events. Oh, there's a killer shark in the Seine? Let's host a swimming competition. Because nothing says visit Paris like synchronized swimming with predators. But here's the real kick in the baguette. These sharks don't just stay in Paris. They're like that French exchange student who visited your town and never left, except they're spreading to every major city with a waterway. London, shark tea party. New York, shark pizza. Tokyo, shark sushi. But that shark eats you. Your best survival strategy? Maybe don't live anywhere near water. And I mean any water. These things could probably figure out how to swim through your tears of frustration. They've adapted to freshwater faster than your ex adapted to being single. At least Jaws had the decency to stay in the ocean. These sharks are showing up in places where the scariest thing used to be the water bill. But if you think mutant sharks are rough, wait and see what happens when prejudice becomes deadlier than any monster. Biz Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is but to teach you that sometimes the real killer is you. You know what's worse than monsters? Your own stupid assumptions. Welcome to the only horror movie where the biggest threat is literally your own prejudiced brain doing parkour to the worst possible conclusions. Think about it. These college kids see 2 guys in overalls trying to help, and their first thought is, must be murderous hillbillies. That's like assuming everyone with a podcast is interesting. Spoiler alert, they're not, and neither is your true crime theory, Kyle. Let's break down why you'd absolutely get yourself killed in this situation. And no, it's not because of the hillbillies. It's because you're the same person who takes behind pineapple belongs on pizza. First off, these college kids are dying in ways so stupid, Darwin would need to create a whole new award. Imagine running away from someone trying to help you, only to accidentally throw yourself into a fucking wood chipper. That's not just dying, that's failing the survival vibe check so hard you've let your entire ancestry line down. But I wouldn't jump to conclusions. I'm a nice person. Yeah, okay, please. You get suspicious when someone uses the wrong emoji in a text. These kids see a guy holding a scythe and saying, "We've got your friend," and immediately think Texas Chainsaw Massacre instead of, "Oh, they probably helped her after she fell." It's like watching a masterclass in how to turn helpful neighbors into your imaginary serial killers. And then there's fucking Chad, the human equivalent of a Reddit conspiracy thread come to life. This guy could turn a bake sale into a horror story. They're selling cookies? Must be poison. That grandma's too nice? Definitely a witch. Meanwhile, Tucker and Dale are just trying to fix up their vacation home and probably wondering why these kids keep killing themselves on their property. The real kicker though, the more these kids try to survive, the more they end up creating the exact horror movie they're trying to avoid. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, except instead of fulfilling your dreams, you're fulfilling your own obituary. They're not being hunted, they're speedrunning their own deaths while Tucker and Dale watch in confused horror. Your survival strategy here would probably be just as bad. You've watched too many horror movies, your brain's more paranoid than a squirrel with an espresso addiction, and you'd probably interpret a friendly wave as a death threat. Congratulations, you just turned "want some tea" into "they're trying to poison me," and impaled yourself on a tree while running away from breakfast. But if you think dying from your own paranoia is embarrassing, wait until you see what happens when motherhood goes full moon, because Nightb is about to make your weird aunt who's too into crystals look completely normal. For everything you know about mommy bloggers in Wine O'Clock, this is what happens when maternal instinct gets rabies. Nightb isn't just about a mom having a rough day. It's about what happens when your inner animal decides to take maternity leave from being human. But it's just a woman turning into a dog. How scary can it be? My sweet summer child, have you met a mom who hasn't slept in 3 days and is running purely on cold coffee and toddler screams? Now add actual fangs to that equation. Let's unpack why this isn't your standard "who let the dogs out" situation. First, this isn't just a physical transformation. It's your entire identity getting rebooted like Windows Vista, but with more growling this time. Imagine slowly losing your humanity while simultaneously having to attend mommy and me yoga classes. Sorry, can't make it to the book club. Too busy hunting rabbits in the backyard and marking my territory at Target. The scariest part though, this all happens in broad daylight, in the suburbs between PTA meetings and grocery runs. There's no spooky castle, no full moon needed. There's a slow descent into canine madness while trying to remember if you signed up to bring snacks to soccer practice. And trust me, no amount of essential oils or healing crystals from your MLM-obsessed cousin is going to fix this. Just call for help. Yeah, good luck explaining to your therapist that you've developed a sudden urge to chase squirrels and sniff other moms' butts at Starbucks. This isn't the kind of thing you can just post about in your mom group on Facebook. Anyone else primal instincts manifesting as a literal dog? Hashtag blessed, hashtag fur mama. Meanwhile, society expects you to keep it together. You're trying to maintain your human facade while simultaneously fighting the urge to eat that annoying neighbor's chihuahua. Your husband's at work thinking you're just going through a phase, and your kid's starting to wonder why mommy's new favorite game is Fetch with the Amazon delivery guy. And here's the real treat. You never know how far the transformation will go. One day you're just feeling a bit weird. The next you're howling at the moon and considering fire hydrants legitimate bathroom options. It's like puberty 2.0, except instead of acne, you're getting actual paws. And your skincare routine now includes a flea treatment routine. But you think a mom turning into a dog is wild? Wait until you see what happens when Florida decides to give its local wildlife a chemical upgrade. Because Methgator is about to make your regular Florida man headlines look like Disney Channel content. Just when you thought Florida couldn't get any Florida-er-y, someone had to go and give an alligator a drug problem. This isn't your standard Florida man headline. This is what happens when the swamp discovers Breaking Bad. Remember when your DARE officer warned you about drugs? Well, they forgot to mention what happens when a 1,000-pound murder lizard gets hooked on crystal. This isn't just any gator. This is a gator that's basically running on cheat codes and Monster energy drinks. Let's break down why you're just running a zigzag strategy is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. This gator isn't just fast, it's Florida fast. We're talking about a prehistoric predator that's discovered performance enhancers. While regular gators might be content chilling in the sun, this one's out here doing CrossFit and probably planning its next fix. It's like someone gave a tank legs and then made it hangry. I just climb a tree. My dude, this gator is so tweaked out, it it can probably parkour better than your favorite YouTuber. You think you're safe on that branch? This thing will either knock the tree down or start a motivational speaking career about reaching new heights. There's no in between with Methgators. The worst part though, its behavior is completely unpredictable. Regular gators have patterns. This one's writing its own rulebook while high as a kite. One minute it's sunbathing, the next it's trying to carjack an airboat. It's got the strength of a normal gator, the speed of a race car, and the impulse control of a toddler in a candy store. And don't count on the authorities to help. Their entire strategy is basically throw bullets at it and pray. Spoiler alert, the bullets just make it more angry, and its anger management counselor already decided to quit. The DEA is trying to arrest it for possession, Fish and Wildlife wants to study it, and Pete is probably trying to get it into rehab. Think you're safe because you don't live in Florida? This thing's expanding its territory faster than your ex's dating history. It's like a scaly door-to-door salesman, except instead of selling essential oils, it's selling meth and pure chaos. And unlike your local dealer, this one delivers, whether you want it to or not. But if you think you could survive a Methgator, I'm here to tell you that you are absolutely wrong, and that there's no way you could survive any of the horror movies we talked about in this video. But if you think you could, I invite you to like this video and subscribe, and then comment down below exactly how you would survive each of these horror movies, and I'll be responding to some of the best comments I see. If you want to watch more videos about horror movies you definitely have zero chance surviving, click the video on screen now.